Hello everyone, my name is Marcus Yoa and I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Today I'm going to talk about ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access. Now, what is Zero Trust Network Access? ZTNA is a security model that works on the premise of zero trust. What do I mean? It means users and devices are denied access to any resource until they are exclusively permitted. A good example would be for remote users. For remote users to connect or have access to on-premise resources, you would need to give them access, traditionally via VPN. Now, the problem with the VPN is the traditional VPN gives the remote users full access to that node, which can be a bit risky in today's security landscape. The reason being that with access to the full on node, an attacker can gain access to other resources on the network via lateral movement. This is what ZTNA prevents. Now we're going to look at a typical example. On my screen is a TrueNAS server that we're currently publishing an SMB file share, and you can see that right here. Because I want remote users to have access to this file share, but I do not want to share access to the full TrueNAS server, what can I do? I can use ZTNA. Today, I'm going to show you how to use Sophos ZTNA to achieve this task. Let's dive into it. First, I'm going to log into Central. In Central, I'm going to navigate to My Products, ZTNA, Gateways, and add a gateway. I already have a gateway added. Let's have a look at it. In the gateway, there are two gateway modes, the Sophos Cloud and the on-premise. With the Sophos Cloud, you can make use of your Sophos firewall. However, you can also use an on-premise where you can make use of virtual appliances within the customer environment. Today, we're going to be using Sophos Cloud. Give it a name, give it a location, it's not necessary. You can also give it a description, not necessary. And then the thing I want to really talk about here now is certificates. With the Sophos ZTNA, it presents us with a unique feature where you can either use Let's Encrypt or bring your own certificate. The advantage of using Let's Encrypt is because Sophos Central can automatically renew the certificate, it typically never expires. Or you can bring in your own certificate. Either one works. Next, you state your available domain that this will work for. You give it a name, you give your gateway a name, and then the identity provider. Down here, because we chose Sophos Cloud, we need to specify the firewall that we're going to install the ZTNA service on. The next thing we're going to now do is configure the region. Once this is done, hit on save. Once the ZTNA gateway is configured, next thing you're going to do is go to resources and access. Here you would configure the resource you want to give permission to. In this case, it's a TrueNAS file share. Under TrueNAS file share, we can quickly have a look at what was done. I'll give it a name and then I'll point it to the gateway that we just configured. Here is the Magpie ZTNA gateway. Access mode, depending on the type of access you want to grant this user. If it's going to be an agent based or agentless, we'll talk more about this. The resource type is the CIFS. External FQDN would be truenas.magbytes.com. This can be anything. You just have to make sure this is identified in the remote user connection. Access port type, TCP, the ports that will be accessed will be 138, 137, 445, and 139. The internal FQDN will be 172.168.30.200. This is the IP address of the TrueNAS server. Again, this will be blind to the remote user. Next, you would pick the user group that will have access to this resource. In this case, I created a group called ZTNA group and I hit on save. Once this is done, I can connect to the remote user device. In my case, this is a device on Azure. To install the agent, I'll go to Devices, Installers. I'll go to Endpoint and go to Choose Component. Here I will uncheck Sophos X, uncheck device encryption, and only check ZTNA, and then hit on the download installer. Once this is done, you can just install the agent and you would have it here. Once this is installed, you can literally connect to your SMB file share remotely. This is the name of the FQDN that was configured in the remote access. I'll come here and hit on OK. And voila, we have access to remote file share. And there you have it. ZTNA is giving us access to remote file share. Thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me in the comment sections. Thank you and have a nice day.